श्रीमती कानिमोझी जी।
बस हो गया।
Please start, Kanimozhi.
Sir,
Please
let
start.
him finish, sir.
No, already finished. You
No,
you
sir,
are allowed.
please also.
Nothing will be going on record. You please start.
Sir, let him finish, sir. It's difficult to speak when somebody is speaking, sir.
I am not allowing him. I am allowing you also. You only. Please start.
So the Immigration and the Foreigners Bill 2025 has been introduced with the stated objective of streamlining immigration laws, strengthening national security, and consolidating various pre-independence statutes into a single framework. However, beyond its promise of efficiency, the bill is raising concerns about excessive governmental control, erosion of fundamental rights, lack of judicial oversight, and the potential for arbitrary decision making. This new bill aims to consolidate provision from 4 different acts, which has already been mentioned. Under the international law, states have a sovereign power to regulate the entry of foreigners. But without safeguards at the entry points to access international protection needs, the bill could conflict with the principle of non-refoulement. The principle broadly protects individuals from being removed to countries where they face risks of torture, inhuman treatment, and threats to their lives or freedom. As a core norm of customary international law, non-refoulement is a binding obligation for all states. National security concerns and refugee protection principles are not mutually exclusive. States have legitimate reasons to prevent foreigners who pose security threats from entering their country. But, sir, can we shut our doors to people who are fleeing to protect themselves and their children and to protect their lives? Section 7, Clause 2 provides absolute power to the government to issue orders and directions which prohibit association, restrict movement, and regulate conduct. Does this protect national security or suppress dissent? With a mere order, a foreigner can be forbidden from engaging in activities of specified description. But who defines these activities? If expression, assembly, and political engagement are deemed undesirable, does not this amount to calculated erosion of freedom of speech? A nation that upholds justice does not hand the government limitless discretion over individual lives. We have already seen how many laws introduced under the guise of national security have been widely criticized for their misuse, often leading to arbitrary detentions, prolonged legal battles, and often they become a clamp on dissent. One of the major concerns regarding the bill is the provision that denies foreigners the right to be heard before an immigration officer who makes a final decision on their entry, stay, and deportation. The availability of no scope for appeal is against the very concept of natural justice, which is that no person shall be condemned unheard. The International Law Commission, in its work on the expulsion of aliens, has reaffirmed that the exercise of the state discretion must not be arbitrary. While states have sovereign powers over immigration, the power is not absolute and is subject to the limits of fundamental rights and due process guarantees. A decision made in secrecy, without avenue for appeal, and without an opportunity to present one's case does not constitute justice. It constitutes a violation of international legal norms. In the international stage, we are seeing how our citizens are being deported back to India from the US in handcuffs, in chains, without human treatment or dignity. With draconian provisions like this in the new bill, it will pose further risk for the Indian citizens outside and the diaspora. India's decline in the Global Passport Index rankings is a matter of serious concern. In 2006, India held the 71st position, reflecting a more favorable global standing. But now it has dropped to the 85th position, making global mobility a challenge for most Indians. And this bill imposes excessive bureaucratic obligations on educational institutions, university, hospitals, and even private accommodations, turning them into surveillance agents for the government. Sir, we are not even able to protect our fishermen, Indian fishermen who are fishing in our seas. We are not able to protect them from arrest, assault. We are not even able to release them. They've been suffering in Sri Lankan jails for months together, and we are not able to protect them. What is our answer to this? The bill does not address the admission and regulations of refugees in India, leading to uncertainties in their treatment. The bill continues to define a foreigner as a person who is not a citizen of India. In the modern world with globalization, there are many types of migrants who come into this country for work, economic activity, tourism, refugee seekers, asylum seekers, and even stateless persons. This bill does not recognize the complexity of the situation. Sir, the proposed bill would significantly affect approximately 90,000, sir, I just started, 90,000 Sri Lankan Tamils currently living in India, most of whom have been residing in this country for nearly 3 decades or more. As of March, 19,949 families are living in 103 rehabilitation camps spread across 29 districts of Tamil Nadu. So in Tamil Nadu, we do not call them refugee camps. Our Chief Minister has renamed them as rehabilitation centers. So, but this bill does not look at these people who've left their homes, who've come to India seeking refuge to protect themselves. I like to read a few lines by a Sri Lankan poet.
Please conclude.
Shivaramani.
5 minutes time he allotted for you. He spoke already 7 minutes.
The sound of a single gunfire on a starlit night, smashing the silence and exploding, reduced to nothing the meaning of all our children's stories. And in the brief daytime remaining, they forgot how to make chariots from thorn apple seeds or to play. Amidst the stress of a night during wartime, our children had turned into adults. This is the pain with which they have come to this country, seeking refuge. But this bill does not address their plight, does not care about their future. Sir, Clause 3 mandates that any person entering or staying in India must possess a valid passport visa. Sir, otherwise they're punished by 5 years imprisonment and 5 lakh as fine. Sir, how is it possible for a fleeing refugee who comes seeking asylum to our country to have a valid passport, a visa? If these provisions are strictly enforced, sir, the Sri Lankan Tamil refugees in Tamil Nadu will be liable for criminal prosecution after living here for over 40 years.
Shame.
Sir, I request the Tamil Nadu government has a history of treating the refugees in our state in a humanitarian way, giving them as much as rights is allowed. Okay. Sir, so we request that our Tamil Nadu government to be included in the process when you bring out some bill like this to safeguard the interests of the people who are living, who sought asylum here. Sir,
thank you. Please
To
conclude.
make the process fair and accessible, the government must initiate a special drive with the following features: relaxing of documentary requirements, especially for those born in India or residing in refugee camps, waiver or reduction in the minimum residency requirement considering their continuous stay since the 1980s, a dedicated and simplified application process supported by the government of Tamil Nadu for verification and facilitation.
Thank you, honorable member.
And our government
Please
should be
conclude, ma'am.
entrusted with the following
conclude.
responsibilities: identifying refugee families eligible for regularization and citizenship, assisting in verification and documentation, particularly for those without formal papers, recommending individuals and families for legalization and fast-track citizenship or exemption from penal and deportation provisions. Sir, I request the government to understand that people who've left their countries, who cannot go back to their countries, who are have no homes anymore, cannot be treated
Honorable
as
member
illegal
Sri P.
migrants,
Mahesh Kumar ji.
and you have to look
P.
at
Mahesh
them
Kumar ji.
beyond humanitarian government. They are
Mahesh Kumar ji.
people. They-